in his term. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out. But yeah, I'm not. It'll be a great year with Leslie, and then the following year is going to be an interesting year. How that's going to play out.
Rough Edge FM. Irritatingly irresistible internet radio at roughedgefm.com.
There's
Rough Edge FM. Irritatingly irresistible internet radio at roughedgefm.com.
There's so much going on in your community that even in this age of information, it's tough to keep up. This show will help. It's all about what's new, what's happening, and what's out there. So if you're ready, sit back and listen up, Santa Paula.
That's right. We're going to get the echo again. Are we there?
Yeah, there we are.
Can you hear me?
I can't hear myself.
Can you hear me? Chat. Oh, hey, I'm here.
Yeah,
Are you here?
helps if you turn the mics on.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
what is up with me?
Wow, you're already in holiday mode.
Is that what it is?
Maybe.
I've
Oh,
like flubbed every intro and for like the last 4
Yeah.
episodes.
no,
I think I'm working to get myself replaced.
Yeah.
So
maybe.
you should come over here and learn the board.
Oh, that's easy. If you can do it, anybody can do it.
Ah,
By the way, are we on
if-
camera?
if you can, yeah,
I don't see us
Oh.
up on there. I was like, wait a minute here.
yeah. We're seeing your pretty face.
You're totally unprepared today.
I know. I feel like it doesn't feel like a Wednesday.
No. Everybody's in this weird holiday mode today.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and we're off tomorrow, and then we start the Black Friday, and so it's just kind of a weird week.
Yeah.
But can you see yourself now?
Yeah, it looks
Don't you look
great.
pretty?
Yes, awesome. I'm like, you always give me my full body, and you're just your head. So I'd appreciate a little more close-up shot. But,
Would you? Yeah.
but
Well, people like to see. I mean, look at this.
I know it keeps getting grayer too.
Totally gray.
Yeah.
Doesn't it look like I dye my hair though?
Oh, that's a total dye job. I just didn't want to say anything. Didn't want to say anything.
Yeah, it's all
So-
natural.
Okay.
It looks
all right.
weird though, doesn't it?
I believe it. Okay. Yeah.
So welcome to I want to say this is episode number 79, but I'm thinking it's episode number 80. But welcome to whichever episode we're on, because it is the official kickoff of the holiday season.
Yes. Yes.
So
Looking forward to is this. You're right. This is like the start. Everybody's in holiday mode. I mean, today I was around town and you just see people scrambling, trying to get all their stuff for the next day and
shopping,
doing a little bit of shopping.
Oh my
and-
gosh.
Yeah.
Grocery shopping is out of control.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. The shopping center's packed right now. And, but yeah, it's just one of those days. People are trying to get off work early, just trying to do their thing and get prepared. So are you checking? Where are we at?
Gosh, we are at 81.
Wow. okay.
Episode number 81.
We need to announce it as we begin each show. You know what I mean? So you ever watch like the Tonight Show? How they always start they always say the show number
They do.
at the beginning.
Oh.
When they do the introduction.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
but
they
there.
always say the show number.
Okay.
So there you go.
So
81.
81.
Good.
So pay no attention to the stream.
Okay.
So because it says 79. I'll edit that.
Technical difficulties again.
Yeah, it's an issue between
Operator error
the keyboard and the chair.
or the operator and the operator.
Well, it's between the keyboard and the chair.
Oh, okay. I get it now. I get it. All right.
All right. So we have an abundance of entries into the holiday parade.
Yes, we are thrilled. We have 49 official entries, much larger than last year. We do have one entry, which is a school district, which has several schools involved. So if you count each one of those, it's like another 7 or 8 entries on top of that.
Wow.
But they're listed under one. So we're looking at about 55 to 56 entries coming down the street.
And some of these entries are like a car club, and they have dozens of cars.
Yes, we have for 4 o'clock car clubs, we have 65 vehicles coming through.
Wow.
It's a large contingency of cars.
Yeah. So if you take into account each one of those, it's
Yeah. And then you're looking at, numerous floats this year. Everybody's just geared up for this thing. They've been calling me wanting to know what they can and can't do. Can they bring this? Can they do that? I'm like, yeah, you can do whatever you
can we
need
set
to
off
do.
fireworks?
Yeah, everything but that, you
Okay.
know. So we only have one main rule or two main rules. Don't give out anything if you can afford it, like throw things out in the middle of the street because kids come running out.
Right.
And you can't have Santa on your float. Pretty simple.
No Santa on
No
the float?
Santa. Santa's got his own float. He's doing his own thing. He doesn't need to be invited to the other floats.
That's right.
So
But the Easter Bunny can come out.
any of the other of his posse, Easter Bunny, whoever, what's all the other ones?
Tooth Fairy.
Tooth Fairy, they
Father Time.
can all appear.
Okay.
Which would be cool if we had a parade that had all that.
It wouldn't it?
Yeah, but it would be so cool to do that, But there's only one Santa, and he's already locked in with the city float at the end.
Okay.
So he does that every year, and then once that parade's over, he's going to jump on the train, the holiday train, right after that, and he's going to come rolling in the train into the depot, and we're going to do a toy drive. So that's collecting toys. You come in, bring a toy, you take a picture with Santa after, and they're going to give out some gifts, candy canes, coloring books, or whatever. And then you can, then all the toys that are collected goes right back into our community through our Rotary Club and maybe a couple other organizations.
So this is a little different. So it's not Santa Claus giving out gifts in the sense of presents. It's people bringing presents to Santa.
Yes, to help give out.
To be able to give to those less fortunate.
Exactly.
Okay.
So as of right now, we work with the Rotary Club, which I'm part of too, and we have about well over 400 applications this year for families.
Wow.
And we had 18 last year, and we have a little bit more than last year, but we can supply up to 500. That's usually our cutoff. But it doesn't mean we can't go more. But
right.
Usually the most we've had is a little over 500 several years ago. But we're right in that 400 to 450 range. And so we need toys. We need other things too. So people have been very generous. Santa has a call to action to see if people can come and donate toys. Helps him out. So when you come in there, he'll take pictures, give the kids some stuff. It's a cool time because it's in the evening, everything's lit up,
right? And
you get to see the big train come in. So we did it last year, and it was a great time last year. So it's going to be a long day, a cool day with supporting Small Business Saturday during the day. I know a lot of our businesses are doing specials or just doing different things for the day, leading up to the parade, which starts sharply at 6:30. So we're asking people to come out. The streets will be closed starting at 4:30, so people can come after 4:30 and start setting up the chairs and doing stuff like that while we're getting prepped. But yeah, we roll right at 6:30 sharp. We got a lot of entries to move through fast before the train comes in.
Right.
So Santa's on a time schedule. So he says I got to be done by this time, and because then I got to go on that train. So we can't disappoint him. We got to just keep moving.
Yep.
So he gave us our marching
parade
orders.
Starts promptly at 6:30. If you show up late, if your entry is late, you're gonna miss out on being in the parade because it needs to roll.
Yeah, we're gonna let everybody know. We've been contacting all the entries that they need to be in place, ready to go by 6 o'clock. That gives us a chance to do one last sweep through to make sure everybody's where they're supposed to be, and then we roll at 6:30. So it gives everybody a 2-hour window to get set up. So we're hoping that's enough time for people.
Yeah.
But and being that there's so many vehicles and so many floats and everything, it's going to take at least a couple hours to coordinate everybody. But we're already putting no parking signs up today. We put them up, and then Friday we're going to do a whole canvassing of the area and finish doing that, marking everything that we need to mark.
So they start on Santa Barbara Street.
They line up on Santa Barbara Street from 10th Street by the train depot all the way down to 7th Street. 7th and Santa Barbara, which is where the Moose Lodge is, and they'll turn down, go south on 7th Street, and the parade starts right at 7th and Main, right where the bank is, right there in the Masonic Temple.
Okay,
where the park is.
Yeah. So when you're doing the logistics and everything, and you get like some big float coming through, how do people get around them if they're in front of them in line?
Well, we put everybody to the side, so we still have a we use about half the street for setup,
Oh, okay.
and so we put everybody like to the right, and there's still room to go.
So there's
Sure.
enough room to navigate. And
Yes,
get into
yes.
your position.
Yeah, and then some of the ones like the car clubs will probably have to double up, but still with there's no parking on the street, so in a sense you have like 4 lanes.
And the car clubs are at the end of the parade, anyways, right?
They're staggered. They're kind of scattered throughout.
Okay.
So we're making some adjustments on some of the side streets to put some of these larger groups together. So that way, because if you line them up side by side, including the cars like that, we'd go all the way to 12th Street.
Yeah.
From 7th to 12th Street. So we have to be strategic on how we do it. So we're going to kind of double up some vehicles, some floats that are all together. And then we're using the main street from 7th Street to 4th Street, which they've used for parades where they stage the larger groups. And what happens is they just come rolling through, and so we're trying to figure all that out. The Optimist Club is helping us with it. They're veterans at doing this.
Nice.
So it's just like we just need to tell them what to do, and they're going to be like, okay, we got this. And they did it last year for us. I mean, they helped us move that parade through quick. We did it in a little under an hour, and they're on it. So
the parade's going to also be live streamed. So if you aren't able to make it downtown, you can watch it on Channel 10, or you can go to the Chamber's YouTube page and watch it there.
Yep.
You can also see it streaming on the Tourism Bureau's Facebook page, as well as the House of Magic.
Yep.
So
so there's a lot of places to watch it.
Yep.
Because I mean, some people maybe aren't home; they can watch it from wherever they're at.
Yep.
And so, but it'll be a good time. We did it last year; it worked out well, and so we have Miss Peggy Kelly and Steve Perez from radio, several radio stations like Cruise and others that are going to be our hosts for the evening. And you guys are going to do the live stream for us, which is great.
Yep.
DSR Audio, Desmond Warren is handling the staging and all the audio for us too. RP Rentals, they actually are providing the light towers for us because we have some areas that are kind of dark for the setup. So Friday we're going to go out, we're going to put these light towers up in the staging areas. So that way there's enough lighting for people so they can get set up properly.
Oh, nice.
So they've been generous with us to get some additional lighting for us. So we always appreciate them helping us. And then, so we're a lot of people are calling about the parade. But we're getting prepped and ready. So, Santa Paula PD has been fantastic for us. They're going to be out there helping us. Ventura County Fire is going to be out there. It's been a good group effort. We just had this County 150 party where everybody kind of pulled together, and
right
here we are again, and everybody's kind of working together on this parade. We're just helping facilitate it, but for the most part, it's everybody that's involved, and it's great to see that they're all excited about it. I've had more people call me excited about the parade than any of the years we've done it.
Nice.
So, and I think it's something to do with it's a night parade.
Yeah,
they can put lights everywhere. And it's growing. And that was kind of what the hope was when I moved it to the evening, was it'll start small, it'll build some momentum. And then now this is like one of the largest groups they've had for parades in years. And I think people are just getting excited for it. But we have to cap it because we don't want a 2-hour parade. We're 50 entries is about that sweet spot we're looking at right now. And that's a little over an hour parade. I think that's about all we can handle.
Right.
Because space wise too, we don't have a lot of room to work with.
Right.
But it's going to be an exciting weekend, with Black Friday or Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, and then Monday, Cyber Monday. So we have a lot of businesses that do stuff online as well. So it's going to be a big weekend for our community as well as others.
Yeah, and it's one of the things that I want to remind people, if you are out and about at the parade, support the vendors that are the stores that are there.
Yes.
Don't just park your butt on a chair and wait for the parade to start for 2 hours. Just save your spot, get up and support some of the local stores that are out there. There's a new store. I don't know if she will be open during that time period, but the Games Cafe.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. What is the official name of the store? Whatever
I
it
don't
is,
remember what it is. Yeah.
Nanny and
Yeah.
Deidre's toy store is doing this game cafe where
Yeah.
you can sit down and you can play a game. And what's cool about it is it's $5 a person from the time they open, and if you leave by 5.
Yeah.
And if you leave by 8, then it's $8 a person. If you leave at 10, it's $10 a person.
Yeah.
Which is incredibly reasonable. And you can go in and play board games and have some snacks.
Yeah.
And
Eventually sandwiches and
Yeah.
coffee or whatever. And no, that it's a great concept, and it's kind of like a flashback to the old style of things like that, cafes. And
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
where you can just hang out and do things. But I mean, they've done a great job with the building. If you go in there, because I remember what the business was before, and it's totally different.
Yep.
So it's and then once they get their sandwich shop going and stuff, we'll do an official grand opening. They're just trying to get it going and just start generating some buzz, and then we'll do something official probably after the first of the year with them.
Julie and I are going to go spend a date night there.
Oh, big
And,
spender here.
uh-huh. But, you know,
Nice.
it's just to sit down and play some games and
Wow.
have some time with each other, and, you know, versus watching a movie or it's different. you know?
$5 well spent there.
I know.
I
I know.
hope she appreciates that.
I might even throw in a tip. So
No, but you're right. It's different. I mean, what are you gonna do? Sit home, watch TV, watch movies or whatever, where you get an opportunity to actually interact and have conversations.
yeah, and it's kind of nostalgic
Yeah.
because you're bringing back the old board games when we used to sit down as kids and play, and now everybody plays everything on your phone.
Yeah.
So-
I used to play Monopoly all the time or
Yeah.
some other games, and we'd sit there for hours or cards.
Yep.
Just playing cards,
I suppose we probably couldn't play strip poker there.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be there if you're there. So
Yeah.
no, believe me. So yeah.
I wouldn't be there either.
Yeah. So, come on now.
So there are
This is
some
family friendly.
I
Okay?
know.
Just relax, okay? That you do in your own home, okay? You and Julie can do that.
So there are some limitations on the games you can play.
Yeah, I don't know if Julie would pay for having you do that. Though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably not.
if I have to pay her, to let you do what you do.
So
But
we do it in revert. Put the clothes back on,
there you go.
please.
Here's $100. Get it back on. There you go. But no, I really appreciate what they're trying to do, and they get the concept of a downtown.
Yeah.
Kind of this little throwback to the olden days. Deidre, one of the owners, is going to probably join the chamber board,
Nice.
and so she's going to have kind of a voice in how we, as a chamber, market, promote, and do whatever we can, because she would be another valuable business member that's on my board that has a beat on what goes on in small businesses.
Right.
And so she's got a little marketing background too for what she does too. So, we can all work together on this too. But it's good to have people like that, like Nancy and Deidre to actually help support a community like ours.
And now with two businesses, I mean, let's face it, they're truly invested in this community.
They have a house here. They're intertwined in this community. They have two businesses now. They're here to stay, and they want to make a go of this community. And we hope that everybody supports them. I'd love to walk in there and see it full, everybody playing games, and maybe do some certain game nights. And we can do some chamber can do some stuff there for the evening and stuff too.
Yeah.
Kind of how you see trivia night at Anna's, have a board game night. I don't know what that, there's karaoke at Flight 126.
You can do what's the thing where you have to mimic or you oh my gosh, it's like right there. Charades.
Charades. Yeah.
Yeah, you could do like a game of charades where you have different teams and they got to get up and.
Yeah. Well, there's different games. What's that one game that a lot of women, Bunko? A lot of women do that with the dice and stuff.
Not familiar with that one.
Yeah, they have these groups that play at other people's houses. There's different kind of card games and other games that whatever. So, but it'd be cool just to sit down with a cup of coffee and just play. You ever see like in where is it that I see, like in Cuba or somewhere out there, where they're out there playing dominoes all day.
Yeah.
And they just have their little cup of coffee or whatever, and they just sit there and they just talk all day.
Yep.
It'd be kind of cool to have something like that. You go in there, a cup of coffee, just even playing dominoes would
Yeah.
be cool to play.
Yep.
And then but it's a great concept, and it's going to add to what we have downtown.
Yeah. And what's really cool is that, the downtown isn't just made up of clothing.
No.
And it's not just one particular sector that just dominates. And so you get that diversity in the different options that are available to you. It just makes it that much more attractive.
Yeah, because we have, several great restaurants and some newer restaurants downtown. You got a few antique stores, you have some clothing stores, now you have a toy store, you have a game store now, or game place. There's a bookstore, so flower shop. So you got a little bit of everything downtown. And so it's really cool to see that we're becoming a very vibrant community when it comes to that stuff. And that's not to take away from anywhere else.
I was going to say, let's not forget everybody else that's, although the downtown tends to be the focus of the shopping and everything, there are still a lot of other great stores that aren't necessarily downtown.
Our business district here on Harvard. I mean, we've had several businesses open up. Trailhead Bowls, the acai bowl place right across from McDonald's. They're knocking it out of the park right now too. And we've had
got a magic shop.
Yeah, there's a fantastic magic shop,
escape
rooms. We have some great restaurants. Steak and Hoagie down here. There's
that just made me have a crave. I think I'm going for there to get lunch.
I know. I passed by there earlier. I was like, oh, that sounds really good right now.
I'm like, steak and that would.
But if you look at, there's Best Barbecue, there's Foster Freeze, there's several other places that are in that district. You come to the Vaughn Shopping Center, and you have a new restaurant right there. Also, you have fast food everywhere.
Yeah.
So you have a little bit of everything down in this area in the business district. You go to you need some Mexican bread and great food. Yanita's Bakery, just down the street over here. So there's a little bit of everything,
Although there's a work in progress. If you go to the Tourism Bureau website, heritagevalleyca.org, there is a listing of all the restaurants, both privately owned as well as chains.
Yes.
So it's a work in progress, but if you ever wanted to see what there really is out there to offer, you can just park yourself over there, and it includes Fillmore and Piru as well.
Yeah. It's not just limited to Santa Paula. I mean, we talk a lot about Santa Paula, but we're also supporting Fillmore and Piru, also our neighbors, and it's a whole valley concept we're doing here. And we're supporting them like they're supporting us. I mentioned to you, we had a discussion about the Fillmore Parade the following week.
I was just going to bring that up.
And so
they need some entries.
Yes, they need some help also. So if there's any entries in our parade that would like to be in a second parade, they're going to be out there on Saturday at our check-in table, and they're going to provide some information. Anybody that wants to enter that parade as well.
And their parade it's on the 2nd.
The 2nd at 10 a.m. They're a
10
day parade. So Santa has to do a day one in that one. So he's but if you ever been to Fillmore's downtown, it's a great downtown too. They're in the process of redeveloping that area too, but they have some good restaurants. There's a great bakery, Rowan Mills Bakery there. So there's great antique stores there as well. So they're trying to build that up as well too. So they're in that kind of development stage right now.
And is that in the general area of the theater and everything too?
Theater's right smack in the middle of downtown, which you're going to hopefully do some stuff with the theater also.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a Valentine's Day special.
Yeah.
There.
So it's we all work together. It's a small communities that work together. There's about a little over 60,000 people in our valley. So, we all know it's better to work together in this than to try and do it separately. Piru, our neighbors to the east, Piru Neighborhood Council, they've been doing a lot of great stuff as far as redeveloping Piru. There's some great new businesses that are going in there too, new houses that are there. So, this area, the valley, this part of the county is the growing area, and people are starting to talk about us, and it's good. We're getting people from not even from Santa Paula that are entering our parade. We got some from Oxnard that are coming in too. So it's catching on that Santa Paula is the place to be. And, so we're trying, we're like everybody else, just trying to find that niche for everybody.
Yeah.
And so we're thrilled about what's going to go on this weekend.
It was funny is it's a fine balance because there's a certain charm about being the the Norman Rockwell-esque kind of place. And with the growth, you want growth, but then with growth, sometimes it takes you out of that arena.
Yeah.
And there's a certain charm about Santa Paula. So hopefully it can kind of maintain that charm as it goes through its growth.
That's one of the biggest challenges I think we face all the time is growing with keeping the small town charm.
Yeah.
And it's hard for a lot of communities. We've seen it here in the county, several communities that were kind of like ours because of growth. They kind of lost a little something. They're still a great community, but they just don't have that same small town charm anymore. Here, we're going to grow by 10,000 people in the next 10 years. And the goal is to try and keep that small town feel.
Yeah.
And that's why we're looking at improving the downtown district, the business district, when all the construction's done, help promote that as well. So we'll have these different sectors in our community that we can really capitalize on. And so it just, I know downtown is more that small town feel, but we also have a business district that's going to support other things for everybody else as well.
Right.
So we can still keep that small town feel, but we do have a lot of other amenities that are going to help support the needs of our community.
Right.
So it's like you said, it's a balance. It's a fine balance. Fillmore's going through the same thing right now with some potential growth too. And, Piru's growing. So we're just, we're the small community, but we're trying to keep that also. So it's
right.
It's challenging, but there's opportunities.
So so if you remember last week, I think I might have harped on a little bit about big corporations and small. So this week, I've added to my nightmare. So one of the things that I've discovered is I'm dealing with Groupon right now. Groupon owes us 4 payments because of a simple bank account change. And for whatever reason, that threw them out into a whole tizzy and they couldn't, redo the payment, whatever it is. It's a very simple thing of going online and putting in your new routing number and your new account number, put them over the edge. So this week I was back in support with, trying to figure out why are my deposits still not coming in. And once again, I was told, well, I got to fill out this form and I got to sign this. And I'm like, I've done this twice now. And so, they assured me that it would get taken care of if I would just do this. So I did it again. And they told me to check back in a couple of hours, which I did. And then the support person was like, well, you need to sign another form. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And so I asked to speak to a supervisor. And they said, we are not allowed to give out email addresses or anything like that, or put you in touch with a supervisor, and disconnected the chat.
Wow.
And I started doing some research, and it is amazing how many of these businesses that are moving towards, hands-off operations, self-checkouts, support,
call centers,
everything is being filtered out overseas, and they are completely disconnected.
Yeah.
My support queue has been escalated probably a dozen times, and I've gotten 0 responses from the escalation. And so they're operating out of an island, and nobody cares.
No, that's unfortunate.
When you sign up with a company like Groupon, they are all over you. It's like, oh yeah, here you got your team manager, and it's this US guy, and blah 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 blah, and we're gonna help you set this up. We're gonna do that. You do. As soon as they hand you off, you're done.
Yeah,
and
the minute one thing goes wrong, they just totally disappear.
You're dealing overseas, and that's the only option you have.
Yeah,
they don't publish any phone numbers. They don't publish any. And they don't listen, because every single time I respond and I say, I've already done this.
Yeah.
And calling your support is absolutely useless and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, well, please submit this, and you can always talk to our support. It's like, wait, did you not read the section of me talking to your support department already?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so it's just really frustrating. And our culture, I think these larger businesses, the culture of these businesses is, it's not about customer service. They say it is, but it's not.
It's about the bottom dollar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, so I think personally, there's going to be a revolution, and people are going to get fed up, and they're going to start turning towards the small business.
You're already seeing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're seeing that. People are getting frustrated. I mean, with the exception of a handful of companies that, returns or any issues are pretty good, some of these other offshoot companies, it's a nightmare to work with them.
Yeah.
And Groupon's one of them because, I know they've gone through their rough patches over the years, know, because for a while that they were like it. You went to Groupon for everything. I mean, my wife and I've used it several times too for some great offers, but you don't hear much of them, so they struggle. And so what do? They cut costs, so they ship things overseas. They go do whatever now, and that's part. They lost $46 million in China. Yeah,
and they failed miserably.
Yeah,
and the reason why they failed, they didn't understand the Chinese culture.
Yeah,
and they failed to listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
And so in America, you don't understand the American culture. It's kind of like, well, you get a pass because we want the great deal, but in China, it was a whole different story.
But that's the demise of you and a lot of companies in the U.S. too.
Oh, yeah.
Not understanding the shift in culture or the changes in the economy. I mean, one of my former businesses, same way. They just didn't adjust with the economy and with the change with COVID and stuff. And they're pretty much done,
Right.
And it's just, and it's sad to see that this happens. But when you grow so big, you lose touch of what happens down at the lower levels. And that's hard for any company that grows, So it's frustrating for the consumer, and it's not the people's fault that you're dealing with.
No,
they're being told what to do, and they have, like you said, their scripts or whatever, but they have no idea what your concerns or your needs are, other than what you're telling them. But they have no idea what your world is, and that's between China, India, wherever they source these things. That they just don't understand. I mean, we don't understand their culture. How do we expect them to understand ours?
Right. Yeah. And India is like the number one sourced out call center in the world.
Yeah. And I'm sure, and it's not just one call center handles one organization. They have multiple organizations they deal with.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're, if they're doing with Groupon, then they're dealing with this one, and yet they're alternating between calls. They're only going off of what they read.
Right.
So it's frustrating on your end or any other consumer, but it's not their fault. It's the company's fault that hired them.
Totally the company's fault.
Yeah. But they don't want to blame it. They want to blame it on everybody else. That's part of the problem,
Yeah. And they're, like I said, they're operating on an island. They have, and I truly believe that when you ask for a support supervisor, they truly don't have anybody.
Yeah.
All they can do is send an email.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're operating on an island.
And whoever gets it. And if they want to deal with it, they would deal with it.
Yeah.
But for the hundreds of thousands or millions of people they deal with, your one letter is going to get lost in the shuffle 99% of the time.
Yeah. I haven't gotten a single response. And I've gotten hung up on more times in the last month and a half than I even care to imagine.
I mean, there is areas like you can report them to the Better Business Bureau. You can do other things like that too, or they can maybe get some assistance on that. But, there's only so much you can do as a personal without seeking some other help too.
Right.
But I mean, it's frustrating because how much time is that taking out of your day?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm thinking about, in all honesty, I'm thinking about going and filing small claims against them and then charging them for time lost as a result of.
And that may be the better solution because, and with them, they don't care. They're just going to pay it and move on.
Right.
So, who cares in their end?
Right.
So until they get enough people to do that against them.
Right.
And this is where our government has to kind of step in a little bit too and put some regulations and rules in place that prevent some of this stuff happening.
Yeah. It's sad that we don't encourage and provide benefits to hiring U.S. based employees. Mm-hmm. and penalize with, whether it be a tax or whatever when they hire outside.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
but or have something in there that says if you're going to operate and you have call centers overseas, you have to have a direct line for US based people.
Yeah.
Like if you can't get what you need to get, they have to provide you with a number for somebody that you can talk to directly.
Yeah.
Something like that. But you have to ask for it. But you know what I mean?
Well,
So,
if we were running the government, it would be a different government, John.
yeah, probably borderline dictatorship, though. You're telling people what to do. Yeah. But there's a lot to listening to people and what they do and what their needs are, and that's hence back to your point about small business. People come in here. How do you treat them?
I treat them like their family.
Exactly. And you have a conversation, understand what their needs are. Maybe they don't quite know what they're looking for, but in your discussion with them, you'll figure out, hey, this might fit best for you. Where can you get that online? No, you can't do that online. So,
I had a guy, his wife is a PR person, so he's going to try to get her to write some stuff about our escape room.
Yeah.
But he came in with his son and daughter, two young kids. And they've done escapes before, and the kid said that he said, "Dad, this is like my favorite room." And they've been to really high end rooms, and I said, I was talking with the dad. I said, it's funny because we're a low budget room, and we know that. But so many people say that they love our escape room over some of these other really high end.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'm not sure why. And he said, it's the relationship, the relationship that you have. And your room has a variety of puzzles. You go, and there's a lot. You go into some of these other escape rooms and it's just 6 variations of the same thing.
Yeah.
And we have some history. We have some combinations. We have, so there's a wide array of things that people can do in our room.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of sets us apart.
Yeah.
So,
and it's challenging, makes them
very challenging,
makes them work together as a team.
Yes.
And that's important, so it's a lot of times you get to too much stuff. It does it for you, or something, you know what I mean? You do a little bit and it tells you, okay, this direction you're going, but no, it's a little more take you back kind of old school way of doing things and how you problem solve. And I'm sure a lot of people love it. So
yeah. And it was really nice to hear that, an 11-year-old said that our room was his favorite room out of the ones they've done. And I know some of the rooms they've done.
Yeah.
And they're incredibly immersive as far as their decorations are concerned.
Yeah. Sometimes overwhelming, I think.
Yeah. And that's where they spend all their time and attention.
Yeah.
Not into the actual quality of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, but anyway, support small businesses this
Absolutely.
Weekend.
Absolutely.
You can go shopping, you can go to dinner, you can go to the museums, you can go to the parade, you can come to an escape room. There's a ton of things. I think the theater center has a play going on.
Yep.
So everybody's got something going on this weekend. So if you're in town, stay in town and you can do everything here.
Let's create a revolt.
Okay.
Let's start a revolt.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's something you can buy local, buy it local.
Yeah.
Don't go online. Don't go to Amazon. Come in, buy it local.
Yeah.
Granted, we can't get everything here. Do your Amazon thing.
Yeah.
But if you can buy it local.
Because if you do shop online like Amazon and stuff, a percentage of that, the tax dollars do come back to the city.
They do.
So,
but it doesn't necessarily have a direct impact on a small business.
No, but if you can't find certain things here and you have to, go do that. Because if you go to other areas or outside the communities, which it helps them, but if you do it online, that money still a portion of that's
back. Yeah, that's a very good point.
So I mean, I do Amazon when I can't find something locally here, and my family does the same thing. And at some point we'll get a larger store here. We'll get some other things here as we grow. But for now, I mean, if you go downtown or go anywhere the businesses around town here, they got some great stuff.
Yeah.
Great stuff for the holidays.
Stuff you might not have even thought of.
Exactly.
So
exactly. I mean, stuff you have here too. Great stuff.
Yeah, you're never going to find this anywhere.
No, not at all. So, find something different, something nostalgic, something that is more hands-on. You go to the game store, they got great games there.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
at that cafe, they have in the front, it's all the board games you can buy.
Yeah.
So all the ones that you play and rent are in the back, but
Yeah.
the ones in the front you can actually buy.
Yeah.
So I'm going in there because there's a couple of old games that I used to love to play.
Yeah.
And
And they're good at sourcing some of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, even the toy
they have
store,
a great selection.
their toy store has a lot of great nostalgia toys too. So it's great to see that as
Yeah.
well. But yeah, so everybody shop this weekend, go to the events. There's plenty of events. Go to the parade. The parade's going to be awesome. Go see Santa. Go to the toy store, buy some toys, donate them to Santa, and that way Santa can give them out during the holidays. Yeah, lots of great things
A
happening.
lot
in
of
our
people
community.
in need this year.
And you know what? The city of Santa Paula has been fantastic too. They're doing all the decorating in the community. The train depot is going to look fantastic. They've been working on it all week. They've been putting up the holiday banners, so they're working hard as well, and they're hugely supportive of what everybody's doing in the community.
Nice.
So kudos to them too.
Good.
Yeah.
So we went a little long today, but that's okay because we are going to be off next Wednesday.
Yes.
So we will be dark.
Yes.
But when we come back, we'll have a full report on the Christmas parade and
Mhm.
the weekend and what's coming up.
Yeah, that'll be the next 4 weeks of the holidays leading up to Christmas. So then we'll talk about 2024.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Can you just imagine?
I know, I'm already planning that for the chamber. We are actually,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, we actually have a whole calendar of stuff ready to roll. We're just waiting for final approvals and stuff. And yeah, I've already got almost all 2024 planned out. Isn't it crazy?
Nuts.
Yeah. So next week I'll be working on all that stuff, so it's a working vacation next week. So
Slow it down.
I know it's crazy,
Yeah, stop the train.
but you know what? It's all good. There's good stuff happening in our communities. And, we encourage everybody just shop local.
Yeah.
Shop local, not just Santa Paula, but everywhere in the county.
Yeah.
Support your county.
Shop local, shop small business.
Yes.
So
Yep. Small
going to
business.
Lowe's is not local.
But you have your local little hardware stores.
We
go
do.
to too. But every community in our county has great small businesses.
Yes.
And I encourage everybody to go shop local this year. It just really helps our county as a whole. Our big stores are going to do what they do.
Yep.
They're always going to get what they get, but there's a lot of small businesses here that could really use some support this year.
Let the revolution begin.
Yep.
All right. We'll see y'all next week. Have a great one.
This has been a Rough Edge Studios production.